back. We are back to vlogs, and this video is just to let you guys know where we've been for the last month and a half, or just under a month and a half. I took a break from daily vlogging, and it has nothing to do with, you know, anything anyone said or any comments or anything like that. It has nothing to do with anything to that effect. But basically, the end of August, our son was in the hospital, and I did vlog a little bit after that, but things just got too crazy, and they're settling down now, and I'm going to explain what happened after the hospital to you guys, and basically this last month of where we've been and what's been going on with our life. So we were in a different state in the hospital with our son, who was having seizures, and we didn't know that they were seizures at the time. The neurologist didn't know, no one knew. And during that hospital stay, we were able to find out that he has epilepsy. It is rooting from the left frontal lobe in his brain. The left side of his brain is just a little more active than the right side, and then that one specific spot during an EEG showed that that's where the seizures are coming from, and then an MRI showed that that part of his brain is actually deformed just a little bit, and it's making it so that as he's grown, these seizures have just started happening. So now that we know what they look like, we've known what they've looked like for just over a month, and we've been able to go, oh my goodness, you know, he's been having these all summer, and we had no idea they were seizures because they're so different. And we really had to learn our kid all over again. And anyway, so he is on a daily medication. It's actually given twice a day for the pill that he's on. He's on Lamictal. And he is having a lot less seizures. Now, we had to actually increase his dose over time. And so with Ty, we did like, you know, half a pill the first week, and then the second week we did one pill at night, and then the third week we did a pill at night, and then the fourth week we did a pill at night and a pill in the morning, and then anyway, over 6 weeks we increased it to 2 in the morning and 2 at night. And he's actually doing really, really great with that dose. He isn't having really any side effects other than in week, I think it was week 4 to week 5, I believe, he got bruises all over his body. I mean, you could touch him like this, just touch, and he would bruise. And so he did have to have his platelets tested. They came back normal. We tested him again a week later. They came back normal again. So we're sticking with the same medicine because the bruising went away and his platelets are fine. So that was a little bit scary for us. Really emotional, actually, to see him go through that. And he has been in the hospital since his last discharge from when we were in a different state. Just in our own state, he was in the hospital again just to get a checkup with all those bruises. We were really worried about him. The doctor over in the other state was worried about him. His neurologist, he was worried about him. Our doctors here, our pediatric doctors here, were worried about him, the pediatricians. And it's just been kind of a lot to take in. In addition to all of that, all of the epilepsy stuff, and our, you know, readjusting to our life now and what to watch for, and remembering to always bring his rescue medication with us. And there's been times where we've left the house and gotten 10 minutes away and had to turn back around and get his medicine, because if we don't have that medicine and he goes into a prolonged seizure, it can cause a lot of damage, and we really don't want that to happen for our kids. So we've been trying really hard to remember those things. And also, over the last month, we've had to teach all of our family and friends and anyone that's around him or could be alone with him what to do and what to watch for, and, you know, who to call and all those things. And then as well, we've had our own issues with the school. Usually back to school can be a little bit stressful anyway, and then you add in autism, and it's pretty stressful getting your kid back in school and getting all the individualized education plans and everything like sorted out. And then you add epilepsy with like healthcare plans and emergency plans and medication plans and all these things added to it, and then getting the right people to sign it and getting like the right orders from the doctor and all those things. It's been a lot, especially since he was only diagnosed a week before school started. So it was still extremely new to us, and then to have to like explain it to everyone and have all the meetings with the school, and it was really rough. And the school ended up not complying with what the doctor had ordered and what we requested, because the doctor ordered it, so we requested it, and we just couldn't find middle ground. We went through tons of meetings, and you know, he went to school for the first like week and a half, and then they deemed the school not a safe place for him because of the situation, and until they could get their crap in order, and then he could go back. But during this month of him being off of school, a lot has happened, and a lot of it's too personal to discuss, but a lot has happened with the school in the meetings, and it was getting to the point where we actually would have had to bring in lawyers, and the school would have to bring in lawyers to fight out this battle on, you know, just simply getting them to follow a healthcare plan for him. And it became pretty intense, and a lot of emotions and craziness went into it, and we ended up choosing to wait on sending him back to school. At first we were just going to wait longer, and then I don't know if I've mentioned this before, I think I have, like when I say he goes to the office, he goes to a program that he was selected for. It's like kind of like a lottery. The kids' names get put in, and each kid is like worth a point value, and if they have that many points available, a kid out of that like bucket of kids that are worth that point gets chosen for the program. And it is a program that I don't know what other states have it, but I know ours does. And anyway, it's like luck of the draw. He got chosen about 3 months after being on the waiting list for this program, and he's been on it for almost a year. A year in October or November is the year for him. So it's been almost a year, and during that time, it's basically 20 hours a week of intense therapy, one-on-one learning and training, and getting him to talk and helping with potty training, and, you know, getting him to function normally at restaurants and like all kinds of things. And basically it's what we need for him right now. School, the things they're trying to teach him in school, which is what we had to kind of fight for in the education plan, what they're wanting to teach him is like 5 grade levels from now of where he's actually at. And so it didn't really apply to him. And so we made the decision to actually not send him to school at all this year or even next year. And our reason, before anyone freaks out about this, let me explain why. The average kindergartner goes to school half days. Here, that is not an option. Your kid goes to school full days. So on top of his program, he would have been getting home very, very late every day, or have to go to school half a day and have to fight over the school, like fight with the school over that every day. So that was the main reason, like one of the main reasons. The other reason is I felt like, and so did my husband, that the school wasn't a safe environment for him if they're not going to follow a health plan because of his condition. We need to have that health plan in order so that if it's not followed, the school will be liable, and they didn't want to be liable for if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Another reason being is we were cutting his hours at the program he's on so that he could go to school. Well, now his hours are back to normal at the program that he's on, and so basically what it means, instead of school, what we're doing is well, I need to backtrack a little bit. Okay, so the school was actually coming into the office and getting ideas of what to do with him. So they were kind of going to just do what they were doing at the office at the school. So instead, we're like, we'll just stick him in one place, doing what they were going to have him do anyway. And have it just be more regular for him, have a good schedule, things like that. So we have come together with our FSS, which is a family support specialist, and come up with a plan to replace school. He has 2 more years on the program because it's a 3-year program. So clear until the first part of 2nd grade, he will be in this program even in the summertime. So it's kind of just going to replace school for him. After a month of fighting with the school, a month and a half actually, and a lot of shed tears and a lot of just really hard things to go through, we just have decided it would be the best thing for us. Plus, another thing is we didn't really want our relationship with the school to be completely ruined because over lawyers and all that stuff, because our other son goes to school there as well, and we didn't want that. We need to still have a relationship with that school that's on good standing for our other kids, so that he doesn't get mistreated or things happen, which I've seen happen in the past with other families, and I really didn't want that to happen to my other son. It's not fair to him, and it's not fair to Ty to be in an environment where he potentially could be very unsafe and possibly even die. His seizures are very severe, and he's had some seizures where he's even stopped breathing, and we can't have a situation where he's not being watched. And where he goes at the office, there's either 1 or 2 people that are adults that are medically trained with what to do. They're trained on his medicine and how to use it and what to watch for, with him at all times, no matter what. He's never left alone. They never leave the room without someone else in there watching him. They're very good at watching him and being very involved with him, working one-on-one with him. And he will get way more at that program than he would ever get out of school. So that's a huge part of why we chose to do that, is just take advantage of this program while we have the option. So that's kind of what's gone on, why I haven't made vlogs. I've been so stressed about all the school stuff and what to do that I actually had my sister come up and help me with the kids, because Tim still has work. He can't take time off work, and I had all these meetings, and so she's been helping a lot with the kids. There she is. And she has been helping a lot with the kids and just around the house and helping me stay sane through all these meetings. And as soon as I signed the papers to pull him out of school, I felt just like this weight lifted off my shoulders, and just knowing I was so at peace with the decision, and knowing that I had made the right decision for our family and for my son. And my husband feels the same way. We just feel like it's the best option possible for us given the circumstances. Another thing that happened was I was getting really sick, and I didn't know if it was just from like the stress or what was going on, why I was feeling sick, why I was having no energy. I was like throwing up all the time and just feeling really crummy, and everything I ate made me sick, and it didn't matter what it was. And I knew I wasn't pregnant, and so I was just like, okay, what the heck is going on? I went to the doctor. Sure enough, I wasn't pregnant. I already knew that. But what did happen was I have an ulcer, and most likely the doctor said caused from stress, which would make sense because my life was pretty stressful at the time. A lot had been going on, but I feel so much better now. I'm on a medication for it, and just once a day to help kind of heal my stomach.